All right, here's going to be a little video about wiring and the further work that I'm going to be doing to the yard Beetle. I'm going to call this one the Beetle. The other one's the Bug. This one says Beetle on it. Anyways, just to first of all, I'm just going to touch on these reverse and forward cables here. Okay, so console is obviously off. This is just sitting on there. You need to remove that. It's well done. Anyways, so there you go. Moisture can go right down those cables there, and I'm going to have to work this, inject as much WD and or whatnot, and, penetrating fluid down in those cables as I can. I'm obviously going to have to go to the back where they hook up on the transaxle, which is just underneath there. We'll have to have a look under there and free them up there too, I guess. Anyways, that's just one of the things I was going to do while it's in here. The other thing will be dealing with the motor and the carburetor. The gas tank's off, so the fuel line's off, so I'm going to want to have take that carburetor off and have a look at the float bowl and whatnot, and maybe the jets to see that it's clean. I'll even, after I've got this wiring sorted out here, I will check for spark. But here's my issue here. This thing has safety switches, right? You have to be sitting on the seat, and you have to have the brake engaged, right? That's fine, before you can start it. And then there's things to do with engaging the mower deck. This is the button for the mower deck that's been taken out under there. I can't even find out where. And there's another safety button. So the safety button here for mower deck, one for the brake and one for the seat. And there's another one down under the back there. I'm going to have to go and look at it. It's on the lever that on the clutch lever, or it's the reversing lever. Anyways, what it does is it won't allow the deck to be engaged and mow in reverse. Okay, it'll shut the motor off if you have the deck going and you go backwards. Isn't that fun? They don't give you the option. So the ignition switch, and by the way, I got a new one coming here. Ordered a new one because that one's just chewed right out. Using screwdrivers to activate it. And being 25 years old, you can't trust the contacts on it anyways. A new one, they're not very expensive. Here's the ignition switch off of a newer style tractor. This one, and this is what's not fair, this one here gives you that option right there to mow in reverse. It's a position on the key. This is a very common thing. So you have the option to mow in reverse on most of the newer lawn tractors. And I'm going to say from, I don't know, 2005 and up. This is off of a 2007. Okay. The connector that goes in the back of this is completely different. Not like this one here. This one's the 5 pin. So I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about a lot of this stuff, okay? I don't even know what these are. Look at this. This is wired in here. They are definitely something to do magically with the safety system in here. And so most of the wiring is the safety switches. All 3, 4 of them, right? Well, right off the bat, when I got this thing, the safety switch was taken out from underneath the seat, and the wires are just hanging right there. Now, I found out that the switch actually, when it's pushed down, actually disconnects the wires anyways. Like it's a disconnect switch, not a connect switch, which is different from the yard bug. It's a connect switch, not a disconnect switch. So, oh my goodness, this stuff's just driving me batty. And I tell you, I'm pretty tempted here because I don't even know whether these are functioning or not. There's some type of resistor or something to do with the system, right? I mean, and a lot of these wires, and this one here is the scariest of all. This is a ground wire, by the way, and it's red. It should be black. And it's not a heavy enough wire. It's I don't know, maybe a 14 gauge. This one here, this is a 10 gauge wire here. That's getting pretty close to what it's supposed to be. That one, by the way, goes directly to the starter from the solenoid. This is the battery, the positive battery wire right here. Everything's looking pretty chewed up and yucky looking. This is the ground wire for the battery, which is red. Oh, so I'm looking at stuff here melted. I think that's a melted wire right there. I think I'm going to rewire this whole tractor. I do. I'm done with this stuff. I need this. That goes to another safety switch on the brake. This one here, I don't even know how it's mounted in there. I got under there and I looked and I couldn't even see any place to mount this. There should be two screws. See the two screws here? The two screw holes? There should be some place for that under there. And I can't find it. And I know it goes under there because this is yeah. Anyways, I think I'm gonna eliminate all these safety switches. I really do. This is the one more that I'm going to keep. And right now, there's no starting it. There's what's probably going to happen is as soon as you engage the deck, it's probably going to quit because either the reverse switch isn't working properly or the seat switch obviously isn't even connected. This was the problem with the other one. You could start it without sitting on the seat, believe it or not, because they had taken the seat switch. I'll show you a seat switch here. They're right here. They have a button. They have a button on them. Okay, they go underneath the seat, and when you sit on the seat, you push on the button here, and it pushes the little. That's a little switch there. So. Anyway, those things are a pain in the butt, and a lot of times when the seat gets old and the foam isn't quite working the way it should, you're not even going to be able to press that button when you sit on the seat. And this one, I think it still worked, but I don't know. The reason they sold it to me very, very cheap is because they were having electrical problems. Well, I can see right off the bat, it's a bloody nightmare under here. So I'm going to keep it simple. I know we have a charging circuit here. We have the starting, and this is, I believe, your kill. This is not a newer motor with the solenoid for the kill. This is actually the coil kill. So knowing that I'll test that solenoid there, the starter solenoid. I've got a new switch coming. We're just gonna hook it up so that when you turn the key on, it powers it up. When you turn the key off, it does the kill. Those are all separate pins on here. And also then you have your starter pin too, which is power, it activates the relay on the solenoid. So, and then everything's going to go in a loom, not taped up with mummy tape, I don't know, blue electrician's tape. I have no idea what that is. I put these twist ties on there just to keep the wire bundles from coming apart. And look, there's wires. Oh, I don't know. Anyways, so that's my plan. We'll see how that works. I did get the tire changed. That's they put a tube in there for me. I asked for a tube in it, just in case that tire's checked or had a leak that was leaking again. I saw a patch in there, so I was concerned about that. So anyways, so that's going to go back on there again. Then it'll have its nice hubcap on there. So anyways, that's where we're at. The diesel heater in the shop here is keeping it nice and warm. The oil radiant heater right over there, it will not let it freeze in here, and I can just fire up the diesel heater when I want to come out here, and yeah, I'll be able to sit here and work on things without my hands getting cold. All right.